So we're back to talk about free money, and this is not the Mega Millions segment. We're actually talking about Kamala Harris, the California senator, and her new plan for a tax credit of up to $500 a month or $6,000 a year for families that earn under $100,000 per year. Steve Forbes joins us, chairman of Forbes Media, and I said earlier sometimes when things sound too good to be true, Steve, that they are. First of all, I guess the caveat with this, right, would be that it's not going to happen. And, you know, the Democrats, even if they all supported it, you would need 60 Democrats to vote for it in a Senate. So we're not going there. But maybe it gives us a preview to the way the Democratic Party is going in terms of economics for 2020. What do you make of it?
Yeah, it was redistribution again, promising of free money, free college, free medical care, free whatever you want, free tickets to the World Series. And but the bottom line is, one, it's not going to happen, but two, wouldn't do any good for the economy. What you want to do is lower tax rates. And if they want to do something for people who may not pay income tax or are struggling, how about reducing the payroll tax? They did it 6 years ago, suspended 2 points on it for a couple of years. Why not suspend 3 points? So somebody making $20,000 a year gets an extra $600. That's something that's real, but also helps the economy.
And what about
so do it the right way instead of this crazy way that spends money without getting much result.
What about articulating the political argument around this? All of these issues, universal basic income, free college, all these things that you brought up, sometimes when it's just a soundbite world and you're speaking about it, it does sound good. People, wow, free money, great. Are Republicans prepared to fight back against a Democratic Party that does appear to be going far left in terms of economics? And if so, what's their best argument to do so?
Well, the best argument on health care is, do you want the government running health care? We've seen what the government does in other areas of the economy, whether it's everything from the post office to procurement in the Defense Department, the scandals that hit the Veterans Administration a couple of years ago. You've got no choice on where you go. You want to be rationed like they do in Europe. For example, in Britain, if you need kidney dialysis, you're above the age of 60, 65, you're never going to get ahead of the line. Is that what we want here?
Could backfire politically on the Democrats then.
Yeah, once people learn about it, go beyond the soundbite, it doesn't sound so good.
That's the key. Now, I want to get you on another issue while you're here. I mean, I know you were one of the signers in this letter that appeared in the Wall Street Journal talking about trade, calling on President Trump to push for a zero-tariff world. I put part of it on the screen here. Strategically, offering the carrot of zero tariffs will allow America to seize the moral high ground in the trade debate. It will also put the U.S. in a stronger position as you negotiate with China to end some of Beijing's most abusive trade policies. So I know the administration's talked about this. Do you think President Trump means it when he talks about zero tariffs, and can it be achieved?
Well, it would be, as he would put it, huge if something like that was achieved.
Yeah.
And it would be a boon to the economy here and around the world. And start with Europe. We're supposed to begin trade negotiations very soon on achieving that in several industries there. So, yes, we could start there and push it. And with China, I think we also ought to take other approaches, more laser-like approaches, like picking out certain companies like ZTE that we gave a reprieve to in terms of surviving a few months ago, but are guilty of abuses, not put sales taxes. Tariff is a sales tax. Don't put that on the American people. Hit those companies and industries that are abusive. A Chinese bank that's doing wrong things, kick it out of the SWIFT system, which in fact would put them out of business internationally. And so pick a few companies or industries. You hit them, that shows China we mean business, and we'll get results.
But forget about the tariffs.
Tariffs are sales taxes. So why hurt ourselves while trying to get China? It hurts them, but it hurts us too. You know, leave hurting each other to 50 Shades of Grey. Let's focus on the real stuff.
Look at Steve Forbes coming with the lines today. I was not expecting that on a Friday. I did have my list of things that I was coming to work expecting, a 50 Shades of Grey reference from Steve Forbes. I almost want to wrap up the day, more or less, the interview on that. That's funny. You know, we'll see how this all plays out with China, but I ask a lot of guests, we all ask a lot of guests, if not tariffs, what? And you've answered that today. That's a plan of going after these companies individually. I wonder if the White House is listening or if they have plans to do that. Doesn't sound like it, right, that the president wants to drop this tariff plan real quick?
Well, I think if they come up with ideas on how to do it, they can certainly do it. And this is an issue that would get our allies with us. Canada doesn't like it. Mexico doesn't like it. The Europeans don't like it. And that way you can get results quickly and not do us any real harm.
Thank you, Steve.
Win-win all around.
Win-win. We'll take a win-win. Have a great weekend, okay?